Welcome in, HBAR. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon for notification. As you can tell, I still have something going on. If anyone in the live discussion chat here has any suggestions on remedies, home remedies for a stuffy nose, please share them in the chat. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on TradingView. One word, Crypto Bull God. Excited about the weekend. It's supposed to be very beautiful weather here in South Florida, so I'm hoping that everybody has something exciting going on this weekend. You can get outside, hopefully, and enjoy the weather. I know up in Minnesota, a little too cold for that, so I don't know that that's going to be the case, but cheers to that. It's a little past happy hour. I was hoping to do this live stream closer to 5 o'clock today and have the rest of the evening to myself, but I'm just having, for a little bit of a happy hour today, I'm having a local whiskey on the rocks. Very good. You know, you don't need to mix anything with it. Just drink it straight. You don't need to get crazy and mix anything. Very good. But thank you for everyone tuning in. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I have not seen you in such a long time. Good to see you. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about Bitcoin as we normally do on these daily live streams to kind of kick things off. We're going to take a look at the S&P, but I really want to take a closer look at HBAR. HBAR has had a significant move today. The last time I looked, it was up 14.5%. Welcome in, Patrick Guy, when Lambo. Anyway, I got distracted there. Yeah, we're going to take a closer look at HBAR, though, because it had a significant move today. So I want to realistically take a look at what's going on in the charts there. And then I also want to take that and share with you what I see coming up in another chart because of the moves going on in HBAR. So with that being said, let's get into it. And by the way, I've decided, I'm glad to see you back. And by the way, I can relate to being busy and kind of changing schedules and changes in your life, and and your schedule doesn't allot for it, so I can more than relate, and I appreciate having you here. One of the things I said yesterday was that today's daily live stream would be really exciting because this is the last day of the month, and we're going to have some monthly candle closes, and we take a look at that. I actually want to backpedal on that statement and say I think it makes more sense to look at that on Monday, okay? Because we're not going to have any candle body closes today. It's only 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here in South Florida, and the candlestick isn't going to close until 8 o'clock, and I'm certainly not live streaming at 8 o'clock on a Friday. So we'll actually on Monday kind of take a look at how candlesticks printed. That'll be the focal point on Monday, how candlesticks printed on a monthly time frame, where it makes sense on different projects, and kind of assess the price action from a very high time frame. But let's talk about Bitcoin for a moment here. Bitcoin is sort of doing its thing. It's sort of it's consolidating in this area. And if you tuned in yesterday, you know that my suspicion is we'd see a little bit of a dip. Nothing harsh, but a little bit of a dip, whether we went down this low or whether we only went down this low or we came down here. I talked about several different price areas. Pretty much what I did was on yesterday's live stream, I created a zone, a range, and this is the smartest thing you can do because crypto is very volatile. And I said, if we get a dip, this is where I would suspect prices to go. Okay, we have not seen that dip yet. Okay, but what I want to focus on is this 3-day chart. And again, this is one of these things that I'm sharing with you, and I hope that you find it very value added. There isn't anyone talking about this 125 simple moving average on the 3-day and the significance of it, and what happens after we get significant a turn to the downside and we get candle body closes under the 125 simple moving average, what happens once we actually rise back above it with candle bodies? What actually happens historically, again, 2 out of 3 times this has happened, okay, this time and this time, we never even touched the moving average, okay? It is possible, and this candle, actually this 3-day candlestick is set to close today. We're going to get a brand new candlestick tomorrow. Because the price action has maintained itself up here in this region, this, let me change this color so it's a little bit more, you can see it. This 125 moving average, the more that occurs, this is going to flatten out. That's what we want to see. It's going to flatten out and it's going to begin to curl up. And again, historically, all we can use is past data to inform us about what is most and least likely moving forward. I do not expect candle body closes to go below this moving average, okay? So this thing is sitting at $24,000 right now. So it would not shock me one bit to see price action continue to consolidate in here, come down below here, never touch, and then continue rising higher, okay? And keep in mind, the other thing I want to hit on, and I'll hit on this a little bit, I'll hit on this actually quite a bit on Monday. Appreciate the positivity there, my friend. Glad I'm adding value to your arsenal of technical analysts. The other thing to keep in mind, I'm going to hit on this on Monday, is we really want to take an honest assessment of where the market is at by month close on March, because Bitcoin is not going to go from 29,000 or 28,000 to 100 or 130,000, as I've been speaking to, in a matter of like 2 or 3 months, right? That's going to take some time to develop those stair steps, that bullish price action, the higher highs and higher lows getting up to that point. That's going to take several months leading up to it. And the reason I bring that to your attention is because April and May, okay, they're going to be very important months. If April and May we're just going sideways, we really don't do much in the market, which is not what I'm expecting. But if that's really what happens and we don't see any significant rise to the upside, that would put into doubt, okay, to some degree, what I'm sharing with you about new all-time highs later this year, right? And I've kind of spoken to the fact that, I could see that kind of playing out September, October, November, somewhere in that time frame, right? So April and May need to be very big months for the market overall. We need to see price action, especially in some of these alts. We need to see them kind of turn around and start creating higher highs and higher lows and breaking some of those lower highs that were created prior. And we'll get into HBAR and take a look at what it's doing, because it's very encouraging to see the price action that's going on with HBAR, and we can sort of use that as a roadmap for other altcoins, as well as one in particular that I'm going to speak to. Now, this is the S&P. Look at the S&P. Everyone is calling for this massive stock market crash, right? The S&P closed up 1.44%. I don't know what the news headlines have been, okay? Again, news is noise. It's not that I don't find the news interesting. I just want to be very clear about this. I love talking economics and finance. I love talking about monetary policy and about increasing interest rates and all these things. Like, I love talking about that stuff. I enjoy, talking about those things. But when it comes to analyzing a chart, that's the whole reason the live stream is named what it is. It's all in the charts, in my opinion, right? So I'm looking at this and saying, this isn't surprising. Very bullish candle here. Let's take a look at some price indicators. Yeah, look at the RSI. It's continuing to increase. We're at a very healthy level. Actually, we're turning bullish here at 55, 56. The MACD is beginning. Look at the MACD. MACD is beginning to... I apologize for the stuffy nose. Again, if anybody has any home remedies for stuffy noses, let me know. The MACD is beginning to turn up. We see the histogram turning a dark green, which is very bullish to see. This is very good for crypto, okay? So the stock market, just speaking to the S&P, and we're not looking at the Dow Jones, but we can take a look at that next week. Looking at the S&P, this is setting up beautifully for what I just discussed yesterday. We closed today as bullish as you could have hoped for, okay? 43.25. Okay? Once a candle body close again gets above 43.25, you better start feeling real good about what's going on in the charts. And I'm expecting that to come next month, meaning tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow is April Fool's. So, you know, I used to do a lot with April Fools. I used to, my mom is a little, what's the word I'm looking for? She's very, the word's escaping me, but it's easy to fool my mom. So generally I would, gullible. My mom is very gullible, but I don't know that I'm going to call up or text her and say anything tomorrow. So, but tomorrow is April Fool's. And so, you know, in April, May, I am expecting this S&P to get at 43.25 and higher. Would appreciate a thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Thank you. We're covering some charts here. Talking about the S&P, we just covered Bitcoin. The stock market, the S&P closed as bullish as you could have hoped for this week. Look at that thick green candle body, all right? Now, for all of the HBAR, I have 3 charts that I want to take a look at with you on HBAR. First off, this is let's look at where the price action is at. HBAR is up currently 14% right now, okay? 14%. Now, I want you to go back in time. Just humor me for a moment, okay, as an HBAR. If you've been here for a decent amount of time, do you remember what this felt like? Okay? If my educated hypothesis is correct, we're going to see something very similar to this. I can't circle this anymore. This looks like I have a 3-year-old who's drawing on my chart for me, okay? If you were excited about the price action here, you're going to be excited about the price action coming up shortly, okay? This is when HBAR was consolidating at 3 cents, 3.5 cents, and we rose all the way up to 45 cents, okay? I commented on Twitter recently that the consolidation that's taking place in 6 cents feels like that 3 to 3.5 cent area, okay? That's how I feel about it. Now, what is going on in the daily? Let's talk about this for a moment. First off, on the daily, this is how I would paint a picture for you. First off, the 50 moving average, okay, on all the charts I always look at, purple is 50, 200 is the pink. The 50 is above the 200. Obviously, you want that. You got a golden cross. Now, okay, we had price consolidation between these two moving averages, right? It was sort of like consolidating and ping-ponging back and forth. Boring, right? No one really wants to talk about HBAR during this time. Boring, boring, boring. Well, we just got a candle body close that's about to close in an hour and 47 minutes above the 50 simple moving average. The other thing I'd like to point out to you, look at the volume, okay? Volume precedes price action, okay? We have a lot of volume coming in. The volume is picking up. What I want to see for HBAR, what I expect to see from HBAR on this chart, maintain price action at or above the 50 simple moving average at about 7 cents. Let's stay around 7 cents. If we're at 6.9, fine, we're at 6.9. But let's stay around 7 cents, okay? Consolidate in this area for a few days, maybe a week, whatever the case is. And now let's push up, okay? And I have to change this to red. I don't know why this is green. This is red is resistance, okay? Let's push up. Let's battle this 8.4, and it's all about this. Look, hanging man doji right here. Very bearish candlestick, right? Clear sign of a trend reversal. You got this really small red body and a high wick here. It expresses buyer exhaustion, okay? Clear sign of a trend reversal, and look what we did. What I want to do is I want to take out that area right there, okay? And it's at around 10 cents, okay? We're talking 10 cents. So if this bullish momentum sustains itself, thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. I'd appreciate it on a Friday evening, tuning in on a live stream with you guys. I really appreciate the support. If the bullish momentum sustains itself, which I fully expect it to, we're going to maintain above around 7 cents, okay? We could have a red day tomorrow. That's completely fine and healthy. Maintain price around this level, and let's push up and break 10 cents, and let's get above this line right here. This is a line that I've identified at essentially 11 cents. Let's try to get up in this area, and let's try to stay up in this area, right? That's really ultimately what we want to see. We want to try to get above this zone here at 10 to 11 cents and maintain a price at or above that level. And then we can start talking about 15 and 21.4 cents. Now, let's get to the weekly, because anytime we have enough price data and we can zoom out on a higher time frame, it lends itself to a more credible view of what we're looking at. What's up, Evan? Welcome in, my brother. Crypto brother from another mother. All right, so what are we looking at here? Well, there isn't enough price data on a weekly chart for HBAR to look at the 200 simple moving average. So instead, what I've done is I've looked at another common moving average, which is the 20 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average. Now, first thing I want to point out is the 50 is trending down. The more price begins to escalate in value, okay, the more we begin to push up, this 50 will stop declining. It will flatten out and it will begin to increase. The 20, look at the 20. Look at the orange line. It's curling up and we're going to get a cross there, which is very, very, very bullish, okay? So very, very healthy to see on the moving averages because price has picked up in terms of price appreciation levels. It's moving all of the moving averages up, okay? And it looks like we might get a cross on the 20 above the 50 very soon here. What else do we want to take a look at on here? Well, let's take a look at the price indicators. Very healthy. Very good to see on this MACD. Check this out. The MACD, you always want the blue above the orange, okay? But we got this trigger line, all right? Ultimately, we want to get above the trigger line, all right? I don't know if that's the technical term. That's just what I call it. It's the trigger line, okay? So the trigger line is at 0. We're at negative whatever the hell we are, but we're really close. We're really close. And if we get a really bullish weekly close, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if we can get a close, it would be beautiful. We could get a close at or above this 50. Again, what I like about this is price confluence. The 50 simple moving average on the weekly is at 7 cents. The 50 daily moving average is at 7 cents. Let's close the week at 7 cents. What that will help to do, push up the MACD. Push up the MACD, get above 0. Histogram is getting darker green. Very good to see, darker green. Momentum is picking up, okay? RSI is a really nice level at 53. I've identified this area at 40. And another area, actually, I want to identify on the RSI here. I should have identified this before. Let's do this on the spot. Let's identify another area on the RSI. So it's good that we're above 40. I identified an area on the RSI on the weekly for HBAR at 40. But I think there's another area. And I like to use nice round figures. Now, that might surprise you being an actuary. Us actuaries at work, we love to round to the nearest 1 millionth trizillionth of a decimal, right? Is your rate 0.002345678234, or is it 0.0023675542? Okay, that is us as actuaries. But you know what? That doesn't really fit me as a person. That shit doesn't work for me, to be honest with you. It's just, you know, there are parts of being an actuary where I find the humor in it. We get a little too fucking over the top. All right. Anyway, I'm digressing. So let's get back to the charts. I want to identify another key area of what will now be probably resistance, but basically a key area for us to get above and stay above on the relative strength index on the weekly HBAR chart. Okay, let's take a look at this together. So this was 63. Okay, once we started correcting, this was at 52. We had a hard area getting right above here. Okay. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right around there. Let's see how that looks. Again, home remedy for a stuffy nose. Would appreciate everyone. Thumbs up also for the support. It is Friday, 6:20. Fucking East Coast time, South Florida, and I'm doing a live stream, so I'd appreciate the support. I like... Yeah, I like it right there. So what I want to see, okay, we're not going to actually round this. We're just going to keep it where it's at. We want to get above, what this is telling me, oh, wow, we just popped above it too. So what we want to see on the weekly RSI, we want to get above and stay above around the 51 to 52 area. Okay, that's what we want. And right now, our head is peaking above, right? We got above it here, but we dipped back down below it. What I want to see, the RSI maintain itself up in this region, 51 to 52. Look at that. On TradingView, if you have a TradingView account, look for the weekly RSI on HBAR to get at and stay above the 51 to 52 area, okay? Where is John at? John is the enforcer on the like button. John has not been on the live streams. I need to reach out to him. He always drops me a comment on hitting the thumbs up button, and the enforcer is not here. I'm gonna reach out to John. I have dubbed John the enforcer, like AA Arn Anderson. For those who were WCW fans back in the day, John is like Arn Anderson. He is the enforcer. Okay, no one's hitting the thumbs up button. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know how much effort it takes, but hey, I'm here. All right. So what do we actually high level when I'm looking at this chart? What do I want to see occur? Well, first off, what is encouraging to see? I can already see this just visually. What I've drawn here is a level of downward resistance, okay? From this candle body to this candle body, you can see here we wicked, but we got above it and we've stayed above it. We temporarily sort of like rode it here, but we've stayed above it. Very, very encouraging to see. So what do I want to see next? We've broken some descending resistance. Well, I'll tell you ultimately what we want to see, and this is a couple months out. This is several months out. This here is a bounce low. Bounce lower high, lower high, lower high. We need to take out these lower highs here, okay? And that's much higher in price, up towards 26 cents and above, okay? But until we can get up towards 26 cents and above, excuse me, I don't know what's going on. I have the hiccups. This is what happens when you live stream. These things happen. It's all about the red lines. Red lines are areas of resistance. So on this weekly chart, we can change this red area to a green area of support, right? We have 8.4 cents. We have our swing high at, we'll call it 10 cents. We have 11 cents. So we're going to say 8.5 cents, 11 cents, 15.3 cents, and then 21.4 cents. That's what I have labeled. And actually, this orange line is to denote that I view 21.4 cents as a major area of resistance, okay? So we still, ultimately what we want to do, this is the general idea of what you want to see on HBAR and what I would expect, okay? Ultimately, what you want to see, you want to come up into this region, you want to bounce into here, you're consolidating a little, you're coming up to here, you're just creating stair steps up. That's all right? That's all you're doing. And ignore the time frames, ignore the fact of where this goes out to. But the general sense is, or the general premise is, what are these? Higher highs, and these are higher lows, right? That's all that's going on. That's the general premise. And I've illustrated here what the areas of resistance are. So HBAR is picking up in momentum. The other chart I wanted to take a look at on HBAR is the HBAR BTC relativity chart, okay? This is what this does in layman's terms, for those that are not familiar, and I've spoken to this many times, it's not a hard concept. Mathematically, you're taking the HBAR USD price and dividing it by the Bitcoin USD price. Okay, that's mathematically what you're doing, okay? In TradingView, I've tried to set this up that I could multiply that ratio by like 1,000 or 100 because these values are so small. I haven't figured out how to do that. If anyone knows, drop a comment. But I mean, these values are so small because you're taking like 7 cents and dividing it by $30,000. But anyway, what does this mean in layman's terms for those that are not mathematically inclined, right? You're literally just plotting points on a chart that express the relative strength or weakness of price movements in the USD value of HBAR compared to Bitcoin. That's all you're doing. I mean, literally, that's all you're doing. So what is important to note here, downward resistance, right? Look at all this downward resistance. We broke up, we came up, We back tested, and now we're starting to rise again. Now, what I would anticipate, given the strength in HBAR, is going to continue, and it is going to hit a top 20 cryptocurrency project like I anticipate. What I would anticipate this year, we're going to ultimately continue to rise, knock out this high, knock it out. Let's get in this zone. Let's get in this zone. Let's create another higher high. So ultimately, what we wanted, I wish I had a whiteboard and this was a lot cleaner and I could draw on here, but ultimately, what we want to do is see a rise. Actually, I'll use this. We want to see a rise in price to get up in this zone, and we can bounce in here. And then we want to ultimately test these highs and then break it. You know, that is really what we want to do, okay? The general concept. But very good to see we broke out of all this downward resistance, okay? Back, what have I said? Every single time I go live on this channel, I find at least one chart. One chart with this commonality. And the commonality is we break descending resistance. We break it. We back tested it then as support, and we continue moving higher. How many charts have I looked at with you guys with this? Doesn't matter if it's a USD chart or a Bitcoin relativity chart. It's the same premise. Now, excuse me, I apologize. Man, this cold is not going away. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the price action. It's great that HBAR broke out today for two reasons. One, it's good for our portfolio. Our portfolio is looking very nice when it breaks out 14%. Okay, that's very good. But number two, the other reason it's good it broke out today is because literally yesterday, I showed you two anonymous charts. And they were the HBAR and Harmony 1 charts. And I said, you look at these two charts and you tell me what's different. There was nothing different about the charts. Literally, to like almost a T, okay? Excluding the fact that Harmony 1, I'm going to have to stop getting so animated because apparently I'm going to start coughing. Except for the fact that Harmony 1 is a more volatile asset, okay? It has a little bit more volatility in it. The general price direction and price action within both Harmony 1 and HBAR, it's the same fucking thing, okay? So, when we go back, my apologies. When we go back to the HBAR chart and we see that price action came way up here, we got a golden cross here, right? Golden cross. And we came down here and we consolidated in here. Now we're rising above the 50 simple moving average. Let's go to Harmony 1. Well, let's get off that chart because that's not the one I wanted to look at. That is the HBAR, the 1 HBAR chart. Ooh, I closed out of it. I'm sorry. Okay, this chart right here. Now, as you can see, okay, similar sort of price action, right? Let's get off the price indicators. We rose up in price, okay? We got our golden cross. Now, price action is consolidating, right? We're pressing up against the 50. I am expecting very shortly we're going to break the 50. And where I would expect it to go is a similar price level as HBAR, okay? And that would put it at about I think I had looked at 2.4 cents. Yeah, like 2.4 cents, okay? So if you're in Harmony 1, okay, never financial advice, but HBAR 1 and Mana are the holy crypto trinity. As you can see here, that's going to be staying there for a very fucking long time, as long as I'm in this whatever the hell this is, this office of mine that I thought I was moving out of, but, you know, life circumstances happen, and then you end up staying in the same place again. So anyway, so that holy crypto trinity painting is going to be staying up for a while. So if you are in Harmony 1, what I would anticipate is Harmony 1 getting up towards 2.4 cents in the shorter term here. We'll have to see if that holds true. Let's take a quick look at some of these other altcoins real quick. Now, I had spoken about this falling wedge in PRQ, okay? Ticker symbol PRQ. What happened here? Well, We broke barely above it. This is a lot of volatility here. This is a small market cap. This is in the, let's take a look at it together. I want to say it's in the 300s. It might actually be smaller than that, actually. 300s or 600s? Yeah, it is 600, 615. So very small market cap. Doesn't take much to move it. Falling wedge. Okay, falling wedge here. It broke out, barely was above it. Came back. Now, this is really interesting. I want you to take a look at this. Oh, boy. We fell under the falling wedge, right? We fell under. Guess what? It's a price wick. It's called volatility. Look at this candle body. We stayed above. Look at the candle body. We stayed above the falling wedge descending line. And now we're starting to break out, right? So key areas of resistance on PRQ I'm going to start looking at here. Of course, I'm just holding this one. I'm not really planning on selling it. This is more of like a small term investment that I have. I'm not looking to trade this one, actually. Yeah, these are a couple areas of resistance that I would look for. So around, sorry for the different color. Okay, 13 cents and 14 cents. Okay, that's not surprising. Psychological levels. 13 and 14 cents followed by 16 cents and then 18 cents. So 13, 14, 16, 18 for areas of resistance on PRQ. Artificial liquid intelligence. I have a nice little stockpile of this guy. Same sort of pattern that's presenting itself, okay, that was presenting itself here. I am fully anticipating a breakout on ticker symbol ALI, artificial liquid intelligence. We also have some bullish divergence on the 12-hour. You can also see it on the 6-hour. Now, one of the things to point out is there's not a lot of price data on this. That's one of the reasons the bullish divergence isn't as prevalent or won't show up, I should say, on a higher time frame is there's just not enough price data. So, but on some of these smaller time frames, the way you can think of it is because it's more of an immature asset, it hasn't been around for a while, bullish divergence on a 6 or 12-hour might be similar to bullish divergence on a 1 or 3-day chart for a more mature asset, like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? So we have some bullish divergence. We have this falling wedge here. I'm expecting it to break to the upside. We'll have to monitor that as soon as we start to get some bullish price action. We'll go back to that. Track origin trail. This thing is setting up, I think, for a large move to the upside. I have a little bit of this as well. I established a little bit of a long position on this one. There's some resistance here. You can see it about 41 cents. But we got into this green zone, right? We came up. We consolidated. All this is consolidation. We're waiting for, I mean, there's a lot of, there is some resistance here. There is some resistance right around there at 60 cents. But when we start moving up on this thing, I don't anticipate this thing to slow down. I mean, I expect it to run into resistance at 60, followed by 78, 85, and 95. This thing could hit $1 very, very quickly. Keep an eye on track, ticker symbol TRAK. One, I just spoke to that. That's probably where that was at. One, BTC. Didn't really need to speak to that. The only other ones I want to speak to real quick is Mana and Sandbox, okay? Mana and Sandbox. I think that it is just a matter of time, okay? Just a matter of time until you open up and you refresh your screen on TradingView or CoinMarketCap or wherever you get your prices, and Sandbox and Mana are running up 10, 15, 20, 30%, okay? This is a view on the weekly on Mana. This is a little bit of a falling wedge here. We had a breakout. You could also, it looks like I'm snorting crack cocaine or whatever. See, I don't even know drugs. I've never even seen illegal drugs in my life because that's how much of a boy in a bubble I am. I've never touched that shit. I never want to touch that shit. I'm trying to make a joke and I don't even know how to joke about it because I stay away from all that stuff. But anyway, drop me a comment. No one has dropped me a comment. One person has dropped me a comment. Thank you, News. Thank you, Turhe Nus. And I've probably pronounced your name completely wrong. I have a stuffy nose. It is fucking irritating. What are home remedies? Cold shower, that's the remedy. I did take a cold shower earlier. I could say a joke with that. I took a cold shower for no other reason than to take a cold shower. But if anybody has a home remedy for a stuffy nose, I'd appreciate it. But there's a couple things you can see here. First off, this looks like a pole and a pennant. Okay, this could be portrayed as a bull flag. And also, this is a falling wedge. Either way, do you see the little orange box I have here? We're going to come back to this, okay? This is going to be fun to come back to. And I'm going to talk about the fact that on March 31st, like it was like the last day of March or early April, I talked about this thing breaking out. I see mana breaking up towards this region of 90 cents to $1.67 pretty quick, okay? Remember me saying that. Sandbox. This thing hit a high of $8.50. We're sitting, oh my God. We're sitting at less than 10% of that, okay? 63 cents. This to me is a great opportunity. Never financial advice. Look at the orange lines. The orange lines were lines I identified as a huge opportunity to buy. They sat between 53 and 63. We went below there. We went all the way to fucking 37.5 cents. Okay? Look, there are no guarantees in life besides living and dying. That's the only guarantee in life that there is. And I'm learning that more and more and more. Life is funny because as soon as you think you figure it out, you haven't had jack shit figured out. But I digress. So there is no guarantee in life besides living and dying. But what I can tell you is, let's actually put the charts away for a second. Wow, HBAR is up 18%. Go fucking HBARbarians. Let's put the charts away for a second and let's talk about fundamentals for a second. Because I try to focus all this stuff on TA. I don't focus on fundamentals. I know the metaverse was a big hot topic back in 2021. Everyone was all over it. And you're like, you know what, CBG? That's not the thing. Like artificial intelligence is. And payment remittances. And I don't disagree with any of that stuff. Let me ask you a question. Do you not think this world is going to hell in a handbasket? Do you not think that people are going to want to escape reality? It's a sad truth. People are going to want to put on their fucking thing in their VR environment. They're going to want to fucking go into the metaverse and escape the goddamn reality like the Player One movie. All right? It's the truth. It's the truth. Look around us. All right? I'm a positive person. I am fucking... If you've ever met someone that is positive, I am Mr. fucking positivity. I can take anything I have been through in life. I can literally take it, put a positive spin on it, and say, you know what? I learned something from that. You know what? This shit didn't work out, but, I mean, something positive came out of it. I moved down to South Florida. You know what? Something positive came out of it. I know I don't want this in my life anymore. I need this. You know? I always take something positive out of what I go through in life. But I gotta tell you, there's a lot of scary shit out there in life, if I'm being honest with you. A lot of fucking stuff that we're not gonna talk about on this channel. We're gonna keep it to crypto. All right? A little freaky stuff. All right? If you gave me a fucking VR set and you said you could escape reality for the weekend, I might fucking take you up on it. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna shoot a bunch of zombies and I'm gonna have myself a VR girlfriend and life is gonna be fucking fantastic. All right? But all kidding aside, the fundamentals I don't think are going away for Sandbox or Metaverse or any other, Sandbox or Decentraland or any other Metaverse play. And these things are so oversold right now. They're so oversold. And in my opinion, never financial advice. Sandbox, Decentraland. Guys, you can comment in the feed. There are other charts I'm not looking at with you. They are presenting a massive scale-in opportunity. Okay, that is my view. And we will look back on this many months from now and we will see if I'm correct. Those are all the charts that I had covered. We are running up against time. I've been blabbing and blabbing and blabbing away. I don't have any exciting plans for today. I do plan to get out tomorrow, but I don't have any exciting plans for today. I will, you know what? Full disclosure, I'm going to tell you about my plans today. So after I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to cut off the live stream. I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to make myself some dinner. I'm going to plop myself on the couch. If I can't find a good movie, I'm going right to STNG, Star Trek The Next Generation. That is what I'm going to do, because if I can't find anything else, all right? So that is my Friday evening. So let's see. Does anybody have one chart? I will chart one chart. The first person to drop a comment on a chart and go. First chart. There is a delay when I speak, so I apologize for the coughing. I really can't help that. All right, let's see here. What do we got? What do we got in the comments here? Ice cold shower. I know you do, my friend. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. I know you do. I haven't looked at it on the 15-minute chart. I tend to. Well, Frankie, I just covered HBAR. I mean, you must have missed the entire live stream. So, my brother, why don't you go back in syndication? Because I covered like 3 charts or 4 charts. I think 3 charts on HBAR. So, go back. Syndication. You can go back and rewind this shit. I spoke a lot about HBAR, so you're good. Allie, I spoke to Allie. What if we are playing the metaverse already? The mothership is nearby. You know, I gotta tell you. It's funny because I've heard this. HBAR is up 16.1666. Wow, that's not good. It's up 17%. I got to tell you, I've heard a lot of people joke or say that we're living in a simulation right now. It's sort of like the Matrix. I liked the Matrix before it got all crazy, but I like the premise of the Matrix. But it is interesting. I'm not going to get all philosophical with you. Actually, I don't know how much of a road I want to go down with you. But sometimes the older you get in life, what you find is that there are a lot more things now that maybe I shouldn't find funny. Maybe I shouldn't find humor in it. But I really do find humor in it. Like, I really do. And it almost does make me feel like I'm living in a simulation. Like, and maybe this happens as you get older, that I wish I would have thought about these things when I was like 25 years old, or not even thought about these things, but I wish I had that perspective. And had I viewed things in a similar fashion as the age I am today when I was 25, you know, I would have approached so many things so differently. But it does make you pause to think. I don't think we're living in a simulation. I don't think we're in a metaverse or whatever the case is. I know you're saying that in humor, but it at least makes you think. Like, when I've really had time to think to myself, I wonder, and I'm not going to get all spiritual and religious. We're definitely not doing that on this channel. But, you know, it does make you think if some of this stuff is already sort of like in the cards. You know, like you really don't have control over a lot of stuff. I don't know. I think about that stuff sometimes. The only thing you can control in life are your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Besides that, 99% of things are outside of your control. That's all I'll say about that. Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, actually, we're going to close it on that. This is a good thought. For the one person who just tuned in, stick around for the next 30 seconds. I have a message for you. You, the one person that just tuned in, I got a message for you. First off, hit the thumbs up button. That's my first message. But no, my second message is, this is actually a really important point. In life, and I've always said this to people, there are only 3 things that you can control. And the sooner you realize this, the easier life becomes. And I genuinely mean this. Your thoughts, what you think, your words, what you speak, and your actions, what you do in life, they are the only things that you can control in life. Outside of that, you have to accept it's life. There are things you can't control. Just like the crypto charts here. Bitcoin, you know, I can talk all day to you about what I think about Bitcoin. You know, what I think about the cryptocurrency market. You know, Bitcoin hitting 100 and I was trying to come up with a specific price target. I think I was trying to something between 129 and 130 something thousand. I was trying to come for fun. I was trying to come up with a specific price target because people love that. But whether Bitcoin hits that or HBAR, whether it creates a new all-time high or Harmony One creates a new all-time high or Digibyte goes ballistic and goes well above what I think it will. Like these things, we don't know. They're outside of our control. And so in this case with crypto, what I'm hoping that you get out of this channel, what I'm hoping you get from me, and I really mean this, all kidding aside for a moment, what I'm hoping you get from this channel is you get some value-added, grounded technical analysis. And that technical analysis aids you in your ability to assess kind of what's going on in the current times, what to expect moving forward, and to also to help you plan, okay, how you may want to potentially prosper and actually sell your investments when things start getting euphoric. Because I will tell you, I've been in this market long enough. Okay, I've been in this market long enough. This narrative that's been out there, this Elizabeth Warren bullshit, she literally has an anti-crypto campaign out. History will not treat her well. I mean, it's just plain stupidity. I'm not going to go off on that. Plain stupidity. This narrative that's out there with the FTX failure and the Luna Classic and all this shit will fall by the wayside. There will be a new narrative and euphoria will come into the market. It happens like that. There's no one that's going to tap you on the shoulder, okay? I can't do that with my right hand, okay, because of the elbow surgery. I can't touch my shoulder. But look at that. Look at that, seriously. Don't have the mobility to get the thumb to the shoulder. But anyway, there is no one that's going to tap you on the shoulder and tell you, hey, guess what? Things are about to get euphoric and the market's turning around and you may want to, buy into the market before things get crazy. You have to do the due diligence yourself, and you also have to have people such as myself who are well-versed in the market to help you in keeping you informed on things, okay? And so I hope you do find this channel value added as much as the corny and cheesy humor I have. I hope that you do find the content helpful. So if you do find the content helpful, share this information with at least one person, hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment here, let me know how you feel about the new field to the live stream. Click the bell icon for notifications. This was, I didn't know what time I was going live, okay? You're not gonna know when I'm going live unless you hit the bell icon. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, I will see you on Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Take care. Have a good weekend. And until next time, spread awareness. Carry the education forward, guys. Take care.